Yo, it's your boy Hunter here again with another build video. This time, it's another variation of the Stamina DK. I am loving the Stamina DK at the moment, mainly because it's just not a meta class, and people you see getting kills off and doing some good clips with the Stam DK, you know, hats off to you. Stam DK is not easy open world. Yeah, it's easy to make it tanky, but to actually pull off X's and do damage at the same time, okay, Stam DK isn't one of the meta classes. Hence why I like using it. You know, it's a challenge, it's good fun, and when you actually pull off an X, it's a lot more rewarding than when you use a meta class. Anyway, let's go straight into it. This is a dual world 2H build, a little bit different. And now I'm not saying this is best in slot. I'm not saying this is, you know, the best way to run this build. Okay, this is probably, it's easy to get all to this setup. And yeah, there's no Black Rose or VMA farming. That's the positive to this build, okay? Yes, we're running dual world, but we're running two 5-piece sets. Okay, so Black Rose is not required, and neither is VDSA. Okay, you can improve this build by doing them two, but this is basically how I'm running it. One, because I don't have Black Rose jewelry, and two, I don't have Masters Black Rose dual wield, not jewelry, and VDSA dual wield. I don't have either, so this is how I'm running the DK without them weapons. Okay, let's go straight into it then. Let's go straight into the gear. Okay. So our first 5-piece is 7th Legion. Okay, we're going sword on the front bar, Nirnhound with the weapon damage enchantment. Okay, and you haven't seen what 7th Legion does. Gives you weapon damage recovery, gives you the critical. Okay, I like the critical because you don't get much crit on a heavy build, so that's, you know, 7th gives you that little bit more crit. When you take damage, you have a 10% chance to gain 488 weapon damage for 5 seconds and heals you for 1,386 health. Okay, this effect can occur every 2 seconds. Okay, so this is, it gives you damage, but it's also a really good survivability set. Okay, because it gives you that heal, but also when that extra weapon damage procs, it then increases your healing. Okay, so it helps with survivability as well as giving you damage. Okay. Back bar, we're running 7th Legion axes. Okay, we're running double axes, both defending axes. Okay, to keep the resistances nice and high. And we're running double dot poisons, okay, on the back bar, because we're always starting off with a heavy attack rending. Okay, so straight away we're proccing the poison. As you see, I'd say these poisons are best in slot. Okay, you can use other variants of poisons. It's up to you. But I find these more effective as they are a little bit aids, to be honest. Hard-hitting double dot poisons, and also increases your victim's stamina abilities by 10%, okay, for 4.2 seconds. For me, slightly overpowered, but I'm going to keep them on. The monster set of choice, I'm a Stamina DK, it's got to be Bloodspawn. Bloodspawn gives us everything as Stamina DK thrives off, okay? It gives us the extra resistances, gives us that stamina recovery, which is nice, and also gives us 14 ultimate, okay? Ulti regen on a DK, you cannot go wrong, okay? Helps with resource management, helps to put damage out, helps with survivability. Yeah, we're going with Bloodspawn. Best survivability, best monster set all round for Stam DK, personally. Okay, so we're running 2 pieces of medium on the head and shoulders because we are in 5 heavy. So we've gone 2-piece medium on the head and body. Now, you can run 5-1-1. I don't have Undaunted on this character, okay? So I wouldn't benefit from that, hence why I've gone 2 medium. But yeah, you would be better off going 5-1-1, so going a medium head and a light shoulder, and then going 5 heavy on the body. Okay, as I just revealed there, the 5th piece, the other 5-piece set we're using is Fury. Okay, this is going to be our other damage set. Okay, so as you can see, we're running 2 damage sets, so the damage output on this is really, really strong, and because everything is a weapon damage buff, as healing is really strong as well. Okay, so it's buffing our survivability at the same time. Okay, so everything's in pen. Fury gives us max health, bumps up his health pool, gives us that max stamina, and gives us more weapon damage. And then when you take critical damage, your weapon damage is increased by 30 for 6 seconds, stacking up to 25 times. Okay, I think this works out to giving you 750 weapon damage. Okay, which is absolutely awesome when you stack it with the 7th Legion. Okay, which gives you the 488. Okay. Works awesome. If you catch someone with a 7th Legion proc with your Fury fully buffed, okay, you are doing big damage, okay, and also your heals are insane while these two are up. So yeah, mega. Nothing special with the gear sets, okay. These gear sets have been around for a while. This build, nothing special about this build, but it's what I'm using, what I'm finding effective at the moment, and just a different type of play style for the DK. And I'm really enjoying it at the moment. So let's go into the skills. Okay, running Fragmented Shield. Okay, this is going to be... mainly we're using this for as major mending. Okay, we're not creating a damage shield. We don't care about the damage shield. Okay, it's completely irrelevant. Okay, but we're using it for the major mending, which increases our healing by 25% for 5.4 seconds. Okay, this is awesome. Marry this up with Vigor. Okay, so you cast your Fragmented Shield, cast your Vigor. Okay, and for the full 5 seconds of your Vigor, you're going to be getting major mending. Okay, which is awesome. Then we go into Quick Cloak. Okay, Quick Cloak is, we're using this as a little bit of mobility because it gives us a little bit of speed when we cast it, and also it decreases the damage of AoE abilities around us, which is OP for all them Templars, Magica or Stamina, or you've got the people that spamming down Caltrops, Destro ultis, biggest one, Northern Storm or Permafrost. Okay, this reduces the damage for all them abilities, AoE attacks, okay? Which is to gain the major evasion, reducing the damage from area attacks by 25%. Okay, this skill is really, really strong. You notice the difference when you let this buff drop. Okay, Resolving Vigor, this is going to be our heal over time. Okay, nice little burst heal, and then, yeah, gives us nice heal over time. Volatile Armor, okay, this is going to be our resistance buff. Okay, physical and spell resistance by 5,280. Okay, for 20 seconds. Okay, also good for getting Nightblades out of stealth because it projects spikes out and it pulls them out of stealth, which is really good. Okay. Okay, and then we're running Blood Craze. Okay, we're running Blood Craze because it gives them physical damage. Okay, but mainly because it gives us another heal. So you also heal for 1,002 health every 2 seconds for the duration. Okay. This is just going to help because we are running all HOTS on this, guys. So we are running all heal overs times. So this is just going to help keep the healing up and help survivability as well as giving us really good damage. Corrosive Armor. This is going to be a good survivability tool. But to be honest with you, this skill is very overpowered against another stamina class. You pop this, not as a defensive ulti, as an offensive ulti. Okay? And it is very, very strong. Okay? So, let's have a look through it then. Greed Dragger Blood in the veins. Limiting incoming damage to 3% of your max health and dealing 1,160 poison damage to the nearby enemies for 10 seconds. Okay, that isn't the OP part. The OP part is the next bit. While active, your attacks ignore all physical resistance. Okay? Yeah, you'll have a tanky guy. You can be as tanky as you want. You can have as much physical resistance as you want. As soon as I pop this corrosive and I whack 2 dizzies on you, you're going to be hurt. This is going to hurt you real bad. Okay, 2 dizzies and execute. Most stamina builds are dead. Okay, so I'd say this is a must-have on the back bar. Front bar, we're going Venomous Claw. This is going to be a good poison damage dot. Okay. Yeah, and it just puts major pressure on the enemies. It does real good damage. And yeah, must have. Noxious Breath, okay, another dot. And also afflicts enemies with major fracture, reducing their physical resistance by 5,280. Okay, again, this is a debuff to them. Must have. Helps with all the damage. Grind the enemy down. yeah. For momentum, okay, this is our other heal over time. Also grants us our major brutality, which is our weapon damage buff by 20%. Okay. Reverse slice, okay, this is going to be our execute. Dizzy swing. Now, this isn't a spammable, but it is the DK. It is a spammable as such, okay, but you don't want to use this ability more than 2 times in a row because your buffs would have dropped and you'll get countered, okay, but this is our main DPS ability, okay, but ideally you don't want to be casting any more than 2 of these in a row. This is going to get a buff in the Elsewhere patch, okay, they're reducing the cast time, okay, but they are reducing the damage, so it's hard to say whether it's a buff or a nerf at this point, okay? But they are doing some changes with this ability. Dawnbreaker of Smiting, okay? I know I've always swore by using the Leap because of Dragon Knight and it's cool, but I'm sorry, until next patch, Dragon Leap is not worth using because it is missing too many. It's just missing too many times and it's not doing enough damage, okay? Dawnbreaker is going to give him the dot, it's going to give initial burst, and it's good against multiple enemies, okay? So it's best in slot for this build. Next patch, I'm going to test with the Leap because they're on activation. The enemies are going to be snared, therefore the Leap will always be able to land, okay? Because they won't be able to run out the AoE damage of the Leap, okay? So I don't know whether Leap will be worth using over Dawnbreaker. I don't know until it's tested. Let's go to the champion points. Okay, as I always say, champion points, personal preference, okay? This is what works for me, might not work for you, so on and so forth, okay? CP is down to your playstyle and individual personal preference. Okay, so that is it for the build. I'll go through the consumables before I forget. Okay, we are using Essence of Weapon Crit pots, okay, these are best in slot for me personally, okay, it grants you major savagery, increases your weapon critical, okay, and then restores health and restores stamina, okay, health and stamina you need, and also the weapon crit, you're in heavy, okay, this gives you the weapon crit that you would be missing, and also this contributes to your healing, not only your damage, so adds to survivability. You put one of these pots up and you've got your hots on. Okay, your hots are going to be critting a lot more often and giving you a lot better heals. Okay, you can use tripods. Okay, normal tripods I've run out. But yeah, you use whatever you want, but I'd say these are best in slot for this build. Food. Okay, now you can use the Artaeum takeaway broth. Okay, I wouldn't say I'm not using this at the moment because it is far too expensive to be using it until I get the recipe for it. Okay, at the moment I am using Dubious. I have done some tests with the Artaeum. Okay, this build is a hell of a lot better with the Artaeum. Okay, but it works awesomely with Dubious. So don't worry about it if you can only get out of Dubious, because that's what I'm using at the moment, and it's working perfectly fine. So, yeah, don't worry about that. As that said, I just want to brush over the slight rotation. I know it's not hard, okay? For a lot of people, this is going to be sucking eggs for you guys. You know, you guys know what you're doing, okay? But for those people that maybe haven't played DK or just don't really know what sort of rotation they would do, this is just a little insight to what sort of rotation I would be doing, okay? Okay, so I'd always keep my buffs up, okay? Try and keep my heals over time on. But the way I would open a fight is heavy attack, rending slashes, light attack venomous, light attack noxious, light attack dizzying swing, light attack dizzying swing execute. Yeah, and that's how I would do my rotation. Okay, you're gonna have to adapt that depending on which enemy, you know, the type of enemy you're playing. If you've got a Nightblade who's always stealthing, okay, you're not gonna be able to just spiel it all off like that. People don't just stand still, okay. But the basis of the rotation is always get that heavy attack off, because we're proccing the bleeds off Twin Blade and Blunt, okay, which is I don't even have it fully leveled yet, okay, but it is Twin Blade and Blunt, okay. Axes, okay, each axe gives your melee attacks 4% chance to bleed for the enemy. To the enemies for 7,725 physical damage over 6 seconds. Okay, so that's why we come off with a big heavy attack to try and proc that. Also, we're proccing the double dot poison that we've got on the weapon, and then we're doing the rending slashes, which is putting a bleed on them as well. So and straight away, we're proccing 3 potential dot damages on them: the bleed from the axes, double dot poisons, and then the rending slashes bleed. Okay, so we're putting big pressure on them immediately. Then we're doing the Venomous, which is another dot. Then we're doing the Noxious, which is another dot and a Fracture. Then we're doing a light attack, and we're getting our burst off. Okay, and that's how we're gonna grind his enemy down. Rinse and repeat. Just gonna grind them down over and over again. Yeah. Just wanted to go through that, just in case people didn't quite understand why the abilities are where they are and why I'm using it this way. Okay. That's the rotation. It's got awesome pressure when you are fully buffed on this build. There's not many people who can stand and take the damage full flak, okay? Because it is really good pressure and it has really good burst. And yeah, it's just real good fun build. A little bit different. I'm not saying it's best in slot for the DK, but it's different, it's unique, and it's got very good survivability and really good damage. Let's have a look through these stats. Let's have a look at the old stats. So on the back bar, we are looking at 35k max stamina, okay, which is a good max stam pool. We've got just shy of 1/6 recovery. Now, a lot of people might panic when they see that, but honestly, if you're weaving in your heavy attacks on a stamina DK with the ulti regen, you'll be perfectly fine. Honestly, you'll be perfectly fine with that regen. Let's have a look at the resistances. Okay, we got 30k spell resistance, and we got 29.6k physical resistance with 3k crit resist. Okay, so as you can see, even though we're dual wield, we have still got really, really high and strong resistances, okay? Because we are a Nord, which gives us, not only does it give us resistances, but gives us awesome ult regen, therefore helps us with the sustain. And yeah, I just find Nord really good for this build and really good for Stam DK, because Stam DK thrives off being damaged, and so does Nord. Let's have a look at the front bar stats. Front bar stats then. So without any buffs, we've got 3.2 weapon damage, which is really good base. Okay, as a Nord, if you go Orc, you'll be running at 3.5 weapon damage without the 7th and without the Fury. Okay, and as you can see, we still got really good resistances on the front bar. But this pushes to about, I think it's 3.8 weapon damage. 4.8 weapon damage fully buffed. Okay, which is really nice. 4.8 weapon damage is a really nice amount of weapon damage. Gives you that real good burst and adds to real good healing. Okay, guys, and that's everything for the build. Thanks for everyone who's been subbing. Thanks for everyone who's been commenting. Again, leave me feedback. The feedback is awesome. Whether it's negative or positive, leave me feedback. And also, obviously, if you want to see another class build, just put it in the comments and I'll get to working on a build on any class. I have every class, Magicka and Stamina. So yeah, just whack it in the comments below and I'll see what I can do for you. Peace out. Cheers, guys.